Warriors. So good to see you today, Wednesday, April the 27th, 2022. It is a blessing to have got up this morning and to be alive and well. And I am so glad that you are joining me today. The subject matter today is how to manage life. And it's how to manage life because you surely cannot manage time. Time management is a misnomer. It's managing our life. Time waits for no one. So therefore, you can't manage it. But what we can do is manage our time. But before we get into the heart of the matter, please subscribe to the channel, like the page, share the feed, put comments and questions on the feed so I can share your comments and answer any questions that I might be able to answer for you. And click the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we're on Full Life Communications. So again, thank you for joining me for a live episode of Life with Sharon, Midday Motivation. All right, so how to manage your life. Easier said than done, but absolutely doable. And one of the main things, which is, I probably say this every day on this show, you must be intentional about what you're going to do each day you wake up with a fresh 24. Intentional living is how you accomplish goals and how you manage your life successfully. Otherwise, we're just haphazardly living and the day is controlling us. Life is controlling us rather than us controlling the day. Right? So we want to control every aspect of the day, every aspect of our lives that we can. Now, life throws us curveballs all the time, so we can't control everything. But taking control over those things that we can, that's when we have less anxiety. And that's when we are able to accomplish our goals more quickly and successfully. So be intentional about what you're going to do every day that you wake up. And how are we able to be intentional? By writing down what our goals are, having a to-do list every day, and not just having the to-do list in our mind, in our head. We have everything in life in our head. There's so much stuff jumbled up in there. No wonder we get confused sometimes or forget things. Everything in life is in our head. So the goals that we have, we should put them down on paper. And when we put them on paper, it looks more doable. It's like, oh wow, you know what? I can accomplish that because it's more realistic in our thinking if we put it on paper, because it's not in our minds all jumbled up with everything else that's in there that we have to do, because then it just sounds so daunting, like, oh, I'm probably not even able to do that because it's in our head with everything else that's in there. So put it down on paper. And when you write it down on paper, then you see, you know what, that doesn't sound that bad. And then break it down to the small incremental goals that you can accomplish that will then equal the giant goal that you want to accomplish eventually. So every day should be small tasks to do that are accomplishable and realistic in that one day. I'm getting ahead of myself because that was the next point. But you want to write realistic goals, because otherwise you're going to set yourself up for failure. Then you're going to feel frustrated. Then you're going to want to throw in the towel and not want to do it. But we don't want to do that. So make sure that you are considering, okay, what can I actually get accomplished in this one day? And it's not even 24 hours because you have to sleep in there. So you have to build that factor in. So what can I actually get accomplished in today that will help accomplish that eventual long-term goal that I have? And the long-term goal doesn't have to be a year. The long-term goal could be within 30 days or 60 or 90 days, because that's one thing I want to accomplish. So I'm going to break it down to today, what I can accomplish in a week, and then what I can accomplish in a month. So every day, have a list of items that you want to, of tasks that you want to check off on your checklist to do today. And eventually, depending on how big or long that particular goal will take, you will accomplish it. But it's not going to happen if you don't live intentionally. You can't just get up and will it to happen or think it's going to happen. You know, we might have the greatest intentions, but intentions don't get things done. Actions get things done. So again, every day, wake up with intention, wake up with a to-do list. And I do my to-do list the night before. So therefore, I don't have to, spend that time wasting that time in that day with where I could already have a head start because I've done my to-do list the day before. So have a task list for what you want to do to accomplish the goals for that particular day and that particular week. And then when you do that, put the action behind it to actually accomplish those goals. You write the goals down and then don't do anything. Well, what good is it? You just wasted time writing something down. So now go through that checklist, prioritize what goals you want to accomplish in that day. So say you have 7 things to do. Now put them in priority order. So therefore, you'll get the most important things accomplished today that you want to get accomplished. And then what you don't get accomplished today, put that on tomorrow's list. But those things that must be accomplished today, make sure you make those the priority. And that's what should happen every single day. And then you'll find yourself at the end of the week, the end of the month. Wow, I've accomplished a lot. You go through that to-do list, you see all those check marks. You know what? I'm knocking it down. My goals are being accomplished. Now you're feeling good about yourself. And you know what that does? That spurs us on to want to do more. You know what? What can I do tomorrow to accomplish this goal? I'm getting excited because you're seeing that end goal get closer and closer. And that's exciting. You're becoming the person who you want to be, and you're managing your life while you're doing it. And you're doing it because you are managing your life. That is the key, to be intentional about it. That is the key. You cannot do it without being intentional. Any person who that you know or see on TV, movies, whatever, who have been successful, they have been intentional about how they live their life. And they've set goals for themselves, and they've accomplished those goals every day by living intentionally. It doesn't happen otherwise. So get that out of your head, that just because you think it's going to happen, it's not. You got to put actions behind those thoughts. And these are some tips to put actions behind those thoughts. So while you're doing that, you're making that realistic to-do list. You're checking off those tasks, you're prioritizing them. And what you don't do today, you put on tomorrow's list. And every day you prioritize the list, and make sure you build in self-care. Self-care is optimum because you're doing so much. You're giving out so much of yourself with the different hats that you wear. But you got to put back in. Because if you don't put back in, then you're giving out the rest of yourself rather than the best of yourself. You're depleted. You don't want to give out a depleted version of yourself. So pour back in. Take those moments to do things that you just want to do for yourself. Activities of interest, hobbies, just some quiet time alone, listening to music that you like, watching a movie, whatever your favorite genre of movies are. Practice self-care as often as you can, daily if you can, even if it's just 5 minutes, to just sit back, relax, and just do some deep breathing, meditation. 5 minutes. Praying. That's what I choose to do. Spending time with the Lord. Sit back, spending time with the Lord, relaxing in his presence. That rejuvenates me. That gives me energy. And also, too, gives me insight because the Holy Spirit speaks to me while I'm taking that time to rest in his presence. And now I have guidance and strategies and direction for my next. So take that time to care for yourself, so then you can give out the best of yourself rather than the rest of yourself. So put self-care in your schedule at least every day for 5 minutes, just to throw your head back, settle your mind, rest your mind, and just do some deep breathing. It's possible. We say we don't have enough time for things, but we don't prioritize the right things. That's why we don't think we have the right time, the amount of time. We do have time. We have 5 minutes to spare. It seems like we don't because we're all so busy, and we are. But you can take 5 minutes to just settle yourself, relax, do some deep breathing, and now let me move on to my next. You can do that. So after self-care, last thing, rest and sleep. 2 different things. Rest and sleep are 2 different things. Taking time to rest can be part of your self-care. Well, all of this is self-care, actually. Part of your self-care. Just resting, relaxing your body, relaxing your mind, relaxing your emotions, and just allowing your body to rest. Sleep is actually sleeping. And we want to make sure we get the proper amount of rest. I know people are, oh, well, I can survive on 2 hours and 3 or 4 hours of sleep. Yes, that's survival. But when you're surviving, that means you're not functioning at your most optimal. That's basically crisis mode when you're in survival mode. That's not how you want to live every day. Living every day in crisis survival mode, that's not good. That's stressful. And there are some situations at times that calls for that, but that shouldn't be your entire being, your entire life all the time. If it is, that's a problem. So take time to get the proper amount of rest and the proper amount of sleep. Sleep is important. Our body needs to be laying in the prone position in order for our internal organs to function properly, because that's how we were created, in that position. And that's when our organs are rejuvenated and working properly. because you've given it time, your body to lay in the prone position. So now they can function and rejuvenate themselves. So when you get back up the next day, they're ready to go with you. But if you're always up, your organs have not had a chance to do what they need to do for themselves to get themselves together, right? So they can operate optimally for you. So this is what you don't see going on, but it's going on. So make sure you get the proper rest and the proper amount of sleep. And 3 and 4 hours a night is not the proper amount of sleep. I think they say 8 and 9 hours is what we should get. I know everybody's probably like 8 or 9 hours. Oh my gosh, I'm so far from that. Talk to your doctor about it. How many hours of sleep should I be getting a night? So that's what we need to do. Live intentionally. Put together a to-do list that's actually realistic to accomplish those goals. Don't set yourself up for failure by creating goals that are too far in the future. Meet yourself where you are, because you surely can't meet yourself where you're not. Where are you with this particular thing? And set realistic goals. And as you set realistic goals, you check them off, you put the action behind it, you do it, you prioritize the list. And you know what? I've done that. The ones that you didn't get to today, put them on tomorrow's list and prioritize that list as well. Every day you prioritize the list. Add self-care to your schedule, to your to-do list. However self-care looks for you in that day. It doesn't matter. It's for you. It's specific to the individual. Proper rest for your body and proper sleep for your body, your whole being. You need to rest and you need to sleep. It's important. We can't forget that. And oftentimes we do, because we're just so busy. So make sure you get the proper rest and proper sleep. Let's see. Danielle. Hello, Danielle. Shalom, shalom, shalom to you, Danielle. Thank you so much for watching. You guys, I appreciate you watching so much. Those of you who watch during the live show, those of you who watch during the replay, whenever you watch, it doesn't matter. Morning, noon, or night, this information is always relevant. So I appreciate you watching the show. And I pray that you have gotten some wisdom nuggets to help you today to manage your life better. Remember, it's not time management, because you can't manage time. Time waits for no one. The clock is going to tick no matter what you do, but you can manage your life better. So therefore, we're not wasting time. You're investing your time, because you're investing in you. And when you invest in you, now you're managing your life better, because now you're living intentional. You know what? Today, I'm going to live on purpose. I'm going to live intentionally, because I matter to me. Nobody else can live my life but me. And it matters what I do with the blessing of the fresh 24 that I got today. Now, of course, we are going to have our moments, and we are going to have our days where it's just like, I'm not up to it. But that should be the exception and not the rule. I should govern my day based on what I want to accomplish, and not allow life to just govern me. No, that's not how I want to live. I say I want to be successful and accomplish these goals. There's a route to success, and you can do it. Put action behind those thoughts. Set that to-do list with the goals you want to accomplish, and put action behind those thoughts and realistic goals. Get some rest, proper sleep, and add self-care to your daily agenda. So that's the word for today. Oh, Danielle has a comment. I do not want to miss anybody's comment. All right, Danielle, what do you say? What do you say? Hello, on break, but had to jump on for a few. Yes, thank you. Thank you for joining on your break. That's why I have this around this time of day. I'm figuring people probably can jump on during their lunch hour, so they can just get a nugget of information, of wisdom, and get some jolt and motivation for their day to help spur them on. So thank you so much, Danielle, for watching and taking that time on your break. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone who's watching, and everyone, again, who's watching on the replay. I appreciate you, because you could be doing anything with your time, but you've taken the time to join me to live intentionally and to be successful in the present and on to our next. That's what this is about. We're in this together. We're taking this journey together. I'm taking it with you. You're taking it with me. Let's get going. Let's not let any grass grow under our feet. Tomorrow is not promised. Remember that. So what we do today is so important. Live every day like it's your last. If that was the case, what would you be doing today? What would you want to accomplish today? Love on your friends and loved ones today. Like today is the only day that matters. Live intentionally. That's my message for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me for this live day, for this live episode of Life with Sharon, midday motivation. And we talked about how to manage your life. And tomorrow we're going to talk about how to know where you have control and where you do not. Control is a big issue for many people. So we're going to talk about how to know where you have control and where you do not. Because oftentimes we try to take control within areas where we don't have control, and that's why we're so frustrated. So join me tomorrow when we're going to talk about where we can take control and where we can't. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Have a God day. God bless you.